Well, good morning, Internet. Well, no, Zach here, and I wanted to chat just a little bit about something called parts truck economics. So right here, I have a 1985 Ford Bronco that I bought for $800 last year, probably about a year ago. It was running and driving, but it had some issues. It had been rolled over up in the mountains, so basically totaled. So I basically picked this thing up for 800 bucks, pulled the motor out, sold that for $500. It was a 351 Windsor, ran really good. So engine only, 500 bucks. Then I proceeded to take tons of stuff off of this thing for my other Bronco, which is sitting way over there, that I've been working on, mostly on this channel, which is the main reason I bought this thing. But just a quick list, this isn't everything, but a quick list of the parts that I got off of this thing to make mine better, because this was a running, driving, pretty nice Bronco before it got, the accident. So the main thing was the rear window, which they're kind of hard to find. It was still intact in this thing. It was even rolled up and it didn't break when it rolled over. So got that. The motor for the rear window, a bunch of wiring for the electric windows, because this is basically exactly the same Bronco, just inverted colors. Had every option the same. So I was able to get a ton of wiring off this thing to make mine actually work, because the windows didn't work. Rear window didn't roll down. The driver's side window was broke out, so I stole that one and put it in. A bunch of miscellaneous interior wiring parts other than the windows I got out of it. I was able to get the rear end out, which was a limited slip. So I just put the third member, it was the same gearing, so I just switched that right over. So also the rear drive line was in a little better condition than mine, so I took that out, rebuilt it, put it in mine. The rear spare tire mount was a little sloppy on mine, and it was really nice on this, so I switched it over. The steering column was busted in mine really bad, and it had a bunch of slop in the gear shift, so I switched that over. The other thing I did was I sold the seats for, I think, 75 bucks out of this thing. So today somebody's gonna come get it, and they're paying 300 bucks for it, because it still has a good C6 transmission with the torque converter, with the transfer case on it still in there. It's got a good front end. It's got wheels and tires on it. The hood's still good. It's got a bunch of miscellaneous, just wiring and HVAC stuff all just piled in here. Plus I've got a few spare parts that weren't necessarily bad, I just didn't need them, pile them in here. So somebody's gonna come take that for 300 bucks. So that means after I got all of the parts that I needed for my Bronco, we're talking thousands of dollars worth of parts to go buy new. I still made 75 bucks on this thing. 500 plus 300 plus 75 for the seats. That's not too bad. I would call that good economics if you're working on Broncos and old pickups. So the main drawback to having these parts trucks is the real estate. They take up room, they're kind of ugly, even though my wife said she wanted to make a Christmas decoration out of it. They just take up some room. So if you can get a hold of them, usually they'll have the parts that you need. And normally somebody else needs some other parts, and that's just how it goes on these things, because they're getting to be 40 years old, and new parts, they're just, not that many manufacturers out there like for the new rigs. So that is my take on parts truck economics 101. Hope it helps. Hope you guys find a good parts truck for your project. More on the Bronco coming soon. Just finished the cam on that, so I want to let you guys hear how that thing runs now.